All right, we're back with episode 30 of the Illuvium Rundown. I guess that's another milestone here. We have our normal co-hosts here, Jimberino. How you doing?
Good. I'm doing great. How you doing,
And
buddy?
then I'm doing fantastic. And then over here we have Modern Llama. He joins us for the second time on the Illuvium Rundown, but I think he's sticking around for the whole episode this time. So,
Yes, sir. Yes,
Modern
sir.
Llama, how you doing?
Doing good. Doing good. Glad to be here.
Yeah, great
Exciting
to see you.
times.
Yeah, great to see you here and your Hydro links. Which one is that in the background?
Oh yeah, Hydro. Yeah, the Hydro Stoic links. I believe.
I'm
I'm not
never
mistaken.
gonna I'm never gonna be able to figure out all those names. There's so many of them. So we got 5 segments here in the rundown, and the first one's gonna be a very fun one for Jimberino. PvP. We got actually some of us got like an internal glimpse of PvP. TSG was kind enough to share some stuff with us, even though he said we couldn't record the screen, we couldn't take screenshots, so we don't have a whole lot to show. But there are some stuff we can talk about. So Jimberino, I know you saw that. Llama, did you get that show too? Okay.
Yep.
That's what I thought. So I mean Jimberino, I guess we'll start with you here, but what did you think so far? When you saw that from the actual gameplay?
Okay, so I'll start this with saying I've always said for the longest time that Illuvium, you look at the auto battler the way it is right now, not with PvP, the way it is now, you can see the foundations of a game that's going to be absolutely fantastic, but playing it the way they want us right now is like super boring. But you see that foundation. And when I watched PvP, shocker, I was right. I mean, it's exactly what I expected. Well, almost exactly what I expected, and it looks fun. It looks like what I wanted, and there's a few extra cool things in there that add a little bit of RNG that just spice things up a bit. But yeah, I think it looks. I mean, I can't give you a good explanation without playing it first. But from what I've seen and how I think it'll play, it looks really fun and exactly how we wanted. So I'm more than happy, for sure.
Yeah, I made a right after that call with TSG. I made a quick post on X there, and just said like I haven't been this excited for something since the trailer, the last open or the gameplay trailer, which was 2 years ago at this point. Was it? I think it was
It was a
October
That
minute.
long?
2021.
I think it's yeah.
Right? Yeah, and I wasn't kidding. Like when I actually saw it being played out, I was just like, all right, this isn't the boring survival mode. Like this is real PvP. You gotta more strategy behind it. You gotta work on keeping those mastery points to get that damage on your opponent. But Llama, what do you think?
I mean, it's. I'm kind of like I'm in the same boat as a bit as like Jimbo in the sense that I really don't know 100% how I feel about it until I really can play it for myself as well. I also am just like I'm really excited though to really see how it's received by the whole community. Because I think from what I can see, the foundations are definitely 100% there of what we're kind of looking for within Illuvium PvP. But until we get our hands on it, until we can kind of see engage community sentiment on it and like how much people like it or hate it, we gotta kind of like wait and see. But I personally, I think it's there, and I am like genuinely excited to kind of see how things go and how it's received and all that. It's such a mystery. It's still such a mystery. Like even with like seeing some of it, like it's. But yeah, I'm
Yeah,
excited though.
yeah. No, one of the things that I really liked when watching, TSG, he actually got into an actual match with somebody else there, Martini. And then there was a point where like after one round, he was losing with how much points he had left, and then he had like the fourth round or something. He just had like a massive win where he had like maybe 4 of his Illuvials back in the board, and then just overtook and won the whole match just there. So
Mhm.
I think that's going to be great for like the esports kind of thing. You can start chipping away point after point, maybe 3. You could win 3 or 4 rounds in a row, and then if you just have one really bad round in the end, it can just flip the complete other way.
Mhm.
For anyone watching who's not aware yet, how the points are going to work is that the same idea that mastery points works, where you put them on the board for survival mode. Whatever you have left on that board when that round is over, those mastery points are the damage that you're going to put on your opponent's drone. So, like I said, you could win 4 rounds in a row where you have like 1 alluvial left. And then on that 5th round, if you just get wiped clean and they have their full set or their full team on the board, they can just overtake that and beat you out in possibly 1 round. So that's going to be pretty exciting for just for content. Right?
Yeah,
That's
dude,
just
that was something that was really cool. That definitely stood out to me as well when I was watching the round that TSG was playing when he was showcasing it to me as well. Was that he was able, or no, I don't remember exactly who I think it was Martini as well, but he was able to come back, like you're saying, like be able to come back after he was already, he started out losing. And then he came back and was able to just completely win it in like 2 rounds, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So having that back and forth and it not being guaranteed, like a guaranteed win, if you are ahead, so to speak, in the beginning, like that's really cool.
Yeah. With that being said, I would like to say that it is a beta, and there will be matches where the match will swing back and forth, but don't be surprised if there's like a meta where this one thing works and it always works and it's like RNG based. That kind of thing will get fixed, and then we'll go back to it's a process. So don't take this as like the final version of PvP. There's a lot of bouncing, I'm sure, that needs to be done still. If it's boring for this or that reason, it will get fixed. Just voice your opinion in a respectful way, and we'll get it taken care of.
I'm really curious to see the skill cap of like where it's gonna land, like even just like where it's at currently in this state of the beta. I'm really curious.
Yeah, it's gonna take a little while for people to figure everything out and try different decks. Well, first of all, when we go into open beta, it's going to be completely different because right now everybody's going to have an opportunity to play with pretty much every alluvial, and then open beta is going to hit, and you're going to have to go out and catch all those or buy all those. Some of them might be expensive. So, but actually, let me just move on to this next topic here. Deck building. Now, going off of what I was just about to say, you're going to be able to play with most of these alluvials right away for the private beta, but when the open world hits, you're going to have to go out and catch these alluvials, or you're going to have to purchase them yourself. So if you're not some big whale on the space, I wouldn't go making these decks with like Ramfires and Aphistos. Do it a little bit to have fun. But I would try to find good team compositions around those tier 0, tier 1, tier 2, get your links in there. Because those are going to be much more accessible. If you make a deck with like a Ramfire and a Fisto in it, you're going to get to open beta. Yeah, you're going to feel like you can never get your favorite deck because those are just going to be so out of reach for most people. Deck building. So, Llama, what's going to be your strategy for both this PvP and, going to the open beta?
We're going into like the first just like the beta, PB3, what we're going to get released at that point, experimentation. I mean, honestly, like I'm just going to experiment like crazy, and I'm going to also be scanning like crazy to see and paying attention as well to like what opponents are using against me and seeing how it works and whatnot. Because there's also there's a lot of synergies and composites and everything that we don't even have access to yet either. So honestly, I'd say the best way to go into this PB3 is just experimentation and just like having fun. And also, I'm gonna be playing some troll decks as well, like for sure. I'm gonna have some fun with it. And then open beta, I mean, I'm still just gonna have fun with it. Like I'm not trying to take the obelisk rank or anything, but but yeah, that's my goal.
Yeah, and you were just saying not just experimentation, but like playing some troll decks. Like I wouldn't quite say I'm into those troll decks, but every time I've played a game like this, where you need to come up with like a team yourself, I hate going with like what the meta says to play. So like I'm always just trying to like find something that no one's thought of before, throw it out there, beat some people, climb up the rankings, and then have other people be like, what is Najafe playing? He's winning. How is he doing this? So that's kind of my strategy. I want to find those out of the box compositions. And I know I'll be making some videos on the decks I make, and I'm sure both of you will be doing that as well. Jimbo, what's your plan here? What are you going to put together for a deck? Any strategy?
For this PvP release, and then I'll do open beta. For this PvP release, like Modern said, I think it's really important just to do a ton of experimenting. But for like the first week or so, I'll probably just do tons of experimenting. Once a meta forms, I'll probably only play the meta and then look for situations where I have these alluvials on the board with this deck, or I'm in this or that situation and I'm always losing to this or that, and I'll try to experiment and come up with ways to counter whatever is countering me, and just continually doing that kind of process until I'm perfect at playing the meta decks.
I'm going to be picking your brain a lot because you seem like you have like a better grasp on this than me right now. But I'm going to come out with some crazy deck and beat you on our first stream.
Honestly, yeah, I mean, I don't know how good I'll be. I'd definitely go for rank 1. Probably not going to happen. I've just been in and played competitive games for so long. Even if I'm bad, I understand what I'm supposed to do to get good.
Yeah. We'll move on. I got 3X. It's still tough to say X instead of Twitter. But 3 posts here that I just want to get your reactions to. So here's the first one. If this doesn't play too well, I'm just gonna overlay a video on the screen. But this just popped up like this morning I saw, and there's some other game that
Chad, is this real?
It looks very familiar, but it's not Illuvium. Oh, is that a Scoriax right there? I mean, so Jimbo, it looks like you just saw this for the first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Is this going to be the better game than Illuvium?
What is this game called?
What is it called? I don't even know. Their coin is QOR.
It's animate, right? So ANEEMATE.
Okay,
Bruh.
I think that's the name. Yeah.
It looks. I said this before we started, but it looks like. And before I go in, I'm gonna go in on this, but like before I go in, I don't know if they copied. I don't know anything about this project. Don't hold it against me, even though I'm about to shit on it. So I don't know what the fuck's going on with that Dollar General Scoriax. This looks like a Dollar General Tim as well, which is a Dollar General version of Pokemon. So that's crazy to even think of. I don't know. I would be willing to try it out. I don't see how it would even come close to Illuvium. I mean, we're years ahead. The graphics are way better. I don't know who is on their team, but I mean, looking at Illuvium's team, I don't know. It's kind of hard to beat, but I'm going to play it. I hope I enjoy it, and I hope it's great. It looks like a Dollar General Illuvium.
It was funny. I'm looking through these comments right now. I think there's more people from the Illuvium community commenting on it than
Is this
than
a
their
witch
own
version
community.
of Illuvium?
Yeah.
That
Look, you got
that feels bad.
look at
Actually.
all these Illumid powers, these ETH lizards. I just saw Andrew Wall commenting on it.
Mm-hmm.
We got DJ Sam commenting on it. This is mostly Illuvium people commenting on this. But I mean, who knows? Maybe they came up with this first 3 years ago, and Illuvium copied them. I guess we just don't know for sure.
Or, I mean, it's completely possible these were just 2 different ideas that are very similar that were come up with different people. I mean, it's not that original
If
to
it
make an
wasn't
auto
for that,
battler.
if it wasn't for that blue Scoriax,
Yeah,
I
that
would
one's
believe you.
fucking sus to me. But like, also
That's the only
like,
one. Yeah.
there's a lot of like giant snakes and creature collectors. I'm trying to play devil's advocate because that Scoriax looks sus as fuck. Like, it legitimately looks like a green Scoriax.
Yeah.
Like, straight up. It's not even like.
Llama, you playing this game?
No.
No. I don't think
It looks I don't know. It's bad. Yeah. I'm honestly I'm not gonna really give any attention to this game at all. It's just I don't know.
You know what? I think it was just a good laugh for the Illuvium community today, and I think everyone's gonna forget about it by tomorrow. But let's see. I have a couple. I actually had a bonus tweet in here. This wasn't gonna be the one I was gonna share, but this is your tweet, Llama. And this is one of the funniest shorts, or one of the best actually put together shorts I've seen for Illuvium so far. I don't know. It's not gonna play very well right here. Is it going? No, it's not gonna work. But make sure I'm gonna put Llama's all of this is YouTube and his X below. Go check this out if you haven't watched it. It's pretty funny. It's pretty good too.
I had so much fun making that. I had so much fun making it.
I can't get myself to put that much effort into like a 40-second clip. But this
Yeah.
this was
It
well
was
done.
it was so overboard, but it was so much fun to make.
Yeah. So go check that out if you haven't already, and then leave a comment under it. All right. So this next tweet I wanted to bring up this is a tweet from Kieran. He says, "This is my quarterly check-in to see if there's any game in Web3 that you can recommend to a friend comparable to its mainstream competitor." So I think what he's saying is like Illuvium, I think is very comparable to like Pokemon and TFT. Like it's not like you look at Illuvium and you're just like, oh, that's just a knockoff that's not going to work. It is up to par so far. Are there any other games in Web3 that you think are living up to their Web 2 counterpart? Llama, anything?
I would actually, so I agree with you on the a little bit, but also slightly disagree with how Illuvium still like is like kind of like shaping up with TFT and Pokemon. Quality wise, 100%. Like graphically, 100%. Like in terms of that, as well as within even just the glimpse that we've seen into PvP so far, 100%. I think I'd be hard pressed to, in my opinion, to find someone that would say like this is just like a complete knockoff and total garbage and total trash. Like if you're saying that, you're not actually looking into the project or playing the game or doing any kind of research into Illuvium itself. They have a long way to go though, like in my opinion, like for sure, like tons more room for development and improvement. But I mean, it's not like I'm doubting the team. I have full like faith and confidence in the team, but like they're definitely not there yet. But that goes for, in my opinion, I don't think any game is there yet.
Yeah.
Like in my like genuine opinion, from everything I've personally seen, and obviously I don't have eyes everywhere, but from everything I've personally seen within this space yet, nothing is there. Like maybe in some of the mobile or like very simple like card games and stuff like that, there might be some comparisons you could draw. But outside of that, no. Like I mean I haven't seen it yet. For sure.
Yeah. And I can't even really truly answer this question because I haven't looked into too many other of the Web3 games to know.
Help chat.
Or even what their Web 2 counterpart is. Yeah, so I haven't played enough of these games to really give a good answer on this. But Jimbo, have you seen anything?
No, there's nothing out that's comparable to the top Web 2 game. But I will say, I think we're starting to get into a period where those games are going to be releasing. I think Dead Drop looks really fun, and it should be amazing when it's completely finished. I think Illuvium obviously is going to be incredibly fun, and I don't know if it'll be the most fun out of these three that I'm going to say, but it will be the most fun for me specifically. And then lastly, I got to shout out Sparkball. Sparkball is just absolutely fantastic, incredibly fun game. Once that gets fully released, it'll also be comparable to a Web 2 game.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Like, obviously, Illuvium is gonna be my number one, but every once in a while, like, Illuvium is gonna be the one I really focus in on and go in depth on. But every once in a while, you want to change it up and just maybe have like a friend over, or I'll play some games with my daughter. I'm sure just change up the game and see how they are. But yeah, it'll be good times. So I got one more tweet here. Pick this one for you, Modern Llama, because I know we had a little exchange about Alex Hormozi. Because I think he's been one of my favorite people to just consume his content over this past year. So his post here is, so your ability to tolerate emotional punishment in the short term can translate to your ability to earn material reward in the long term. And I read this one, and then I just immediately thought, hey, Illuvium, we're getting emotionally punished by all the delays, but I think it's going to be worth it in the end. I mean, what do you think about just Alex Hormozi and the way he thinks? And can you relate any of it to what you're dealing with right now, Llama?
100%. I mean, the thing that I love about like Alex Hormozi's content from my own personal view is just like the frameworks that he uses to think through different things, like various different things in like multiple aspects of his life, and then he is able to like convey that in a way that's relatable and easily understandable by like a really wide audience of people. Like it's and especially like with this, and also like I also tweeted out recently another quote like from Alex in similar fashion of how like I felt that it related to Illuvium. This one very much does as well. Like being able to like tolerate what he's saying, there's like tolerate emotional punishment. I mean, it in a way it's almost kind of like delaying gratification in a sense as well. and like how long you can extend that period for. Basically, like the payoff can be much greater in the end if you're willing to extend that period of like being uncomfortable or going through like uncomfortable times, basically, to get to a point at which it's like you get to the reward, like, so to speak, or the end of the quote unquote end of the road, or that next step in the like whatever it is in the journey kind of thing. Yeah. But yeah, no, I love it. I love his content. I love consuming his content because I think that he for me personally as well, it's like it has helped me reframe and think through things way differently in my own personal life as well. And like, it's awesome. It's been really helpful.
If you're not following this guy, you should definitely check out his stuff. Jimbo, are you familiar with him at all?
Yeah, I've heard of Alex, and I've watched a few of his videos. I wouldn't say I watch it all the time, but I love the message that he's giving out here. I personally have had problems, I think we all have, with being lazy. And as a lazy person, being able to put yourself through short-term emotional punishment, it sounds like sometimes you just hear stuff like that and you're like, oh, that's just some red pill like bullshit or something. But like, I'm telling you, as someone who has struggled with that in the past, and now I personally think I'm a lot better, doing this and like actually practicing it will help you. I promise, 100%. I love Alex. And as far as it translating into Illuvium, yeah, the Illuvium Labs team has just been like torturing us, I guess, for the past few years. So I don't know. Maybe they just wanted to make the payoff even better. So we'll see if that's how that happens.
Yeah. But anyways, before we switch to the next topic, one of the reasons I really like him is that like this is more a personal thing, but I've been able to relate to him more than anybody else I've ever come across. But even to the point where he was just like, "Oh, I was sleeping on an air mattress in my gym when he gets started." Like, there was a point in my career where I was sleeping on an air mattress at work for a little bit, and it's just like it just brought it back to something that I did in my past. Because I was like, I had to go through a grind too, and I'm still not where I want to be, but I'm much closer from paying attention to his content and other similar people. And the other big thing is that he's always talks about like, he doesn't care how he looks and how he dresses. He just wants to be comfortable. I'm the same way too. I wear sandals. I wear Crocs. I wear just comfortable sweatpants. I just want to be comfortable and just do what I got to do. Yeah,
100%. Love that mentality too. It's like I also I love wearing like these shirts and everything. They're just comfy. They're breathable, and like they're more that like athletic type of material kind of like feel. And I love it, dude. I literally wear these shirts like everywhere. So 100%, I love it.
Comfort is a big thing for me. That's why I was a bit of a critic on the Illuvium merch here. But I am wearing a sweatshirt. I like the sweatshirt. And
it's a sweatshirt. It's good.
The J5 for 5% off if you want to check it out in the merch store. True. Or you can do one of theirs too. I'm sure they got one.
Man.
But Illuvium Beyond, they just, I wouldn't say forgotten about, but it had been quiet for about a month and a half because something happened. There's some kind of bug again. The rewards stopped for about, it must have been 4 or 5 weeks. They just started back up in this last snapshot, and they're doing triple rewards for the next 3 weeks. That means if you're in the top 100 between 51 and 100, you're getting 1.5 ILV per week for these next 3 weeks. If you're in the top 50, you're getting 3 ILV per week. I had been in around the 90, 95 range for the longest time. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, I'm going to try to make a push for the top 50. So, I put a couple $100 in the account, a little extra, started bonding a bunch of things, climbing up the leaderboards. I got to a point where I was like 63rd, and I was still like 200,000 away from getting that top 50, and I was just like, I can't do it. So I've secured my spot for the top 100, but I couldn't make 150. But I like that there's, just them bringing back these rewards like made it a little more fun again. I could go in there and start bonding and actually feel like it's sort of a game rather than it just being like stagnant. Llama, how involved are you in Illuvium Beyond?
I am just a collector in the Beyond. I just love like collecting of it because like I'm not gonna like bash on the whole like leaderboard thing and all that, but I'm not a fan. Like it's because like just put it bluntly, like I don't think it's a game, in my opinion. Like it's you're throwing things on a profile picture, get points, you make a leaderboard. Like
Yeah.
Those that love it, that's like my opinion is like for those that love it, because I can tell like there's a lot of diehard fans that you absolutely love Illuvium Beyond, and you seem like you're in the top leaderboard and as well and all that. Like I respect it. If people like it and that's their shtick or that's what they like, and he's frozen again.
Yeah. Okay, we're back.
Yeah, so like 100%. If that's what people like and that's what they love, kind of thing, like it's great.
Yeah.
But for me, I still like Beyond. But I just like it for collecting. Like I just take it for what it is. Like I'm just trying to have my own mini Links army within that realm as well. That's literally that's all I'm trying to do.
So yeah, so there's two things for me. First of all,
Hmm.
I really had no intention to go big into Illuvium Beyond. I happened to get really lucky early on and get a Blazing Ramfire, which I sold. And then all of a sudden I had a lot more liquidity in like IMX in the the whole ecosystem than I expected to ever have, really.
That happens.
So
Yeah.
it was honestly that was the best pull I've ever had. I have a couple of the not first edition but like first set Charizards that I remember pulling from actual Pokemon cards, but I still think that Blazing Ramfire is better. Sold it for a lot more. But that was one of the reasons why I was just like, all right, well, I'm going to give this a go. And the other reason why I've been keeping up with it, not necessarily just for the leaderboards, but I have faith that the Illuvium team is going to bring more utility to these Illuvitars, like a card game, some actual game, I think is going to come out of these. And when that happens, I'm going to be prepared because I'm going to have a nice, collection. And then other people are going to be like,
That's what I'm gonna be like.
yeah, I'm gonna be prepared, and then other people are gonna come in and they're gonna feel like they need to start, collecting, and then maybe I can sell off some of my other ones and get a little bit of a profit. Jimbo, any thoughts on this? I know you're not too big on Illuvium Beyond either.
Not really. I don't really care. But my takeaway from this conversation is just keep buying discs until you get that tier 5. That's financial advice from Jafe.
Hey, if you get it early, it's awesome. If you're buying your 500th and 600th disc and you still haven't got it, like
just keep going. Eventually, you're gonna get one.
I don't know. More discs I open through this second wave, more I realize how incredibly lucky I was to get that so early on when these things were reselling for a good price too. I think I have a link somewhere. These guys do too. If you want to go and buy some discs, you can use my link too. Might as well just chill it all in here. All right, let's do our last segment here. So there's been a new proposal put up by Kieran for Governance V3. It's would be too much to get into all the details right now. But basically, kind of getting rid of, assuming this passes, and since I'm going to be on the council that's going to voting for it, I'm pretty confident it will pass and get through. And that's a tough one, to be honest with you, because passing this is truly me saying I think this is the best for Illuvium, because there's a good chance I'm throwing away a job that I've had for the past 6 months. So it is tough, but I truly think this is going to be a better system. They're getting rid of the sub councils, and it's just going to be the IMC, 5 in the IMC, and then a community council, 5 in the community council. And they're going to have what they're calling committees. These are going to be non-paid positions, but basically what it seems like it's going to at least start out as is a bunch of the people that Kieran and the team are already close with, that are invested in Illuvium, involved in other projects, that can just give good, solid advice. They're going to be in these committees, and proposals are going to go through the community council to the IMC. The IMC are going to consult with these committees and make the best decision. It takes away a lot of the bulk we have right now, and I'm actually pretty excited for it. Even if it means I don't end up in a council position anymore, ultimately I just want to see what's best for Illuvium game. I think this is gonna make things better and smoother going forward. Thoughts on that?
What it sounds like, but
Yeah. I kind of just echo your thought about probably not being on council next epoch. It really sucks, but at the same time, what's best for Illuvium is more important. And probably better for me in long term anyways. I do wish, and I'm not just saying this because I want a better chance at being on council, but wish we had another epoch to try out Gov V2, because I feel like just giving it one epoch, we could have gotten that 1 in 10 or 1 in 100 chance. As someone who is skeptical of DAOs to begin with, going from Gov V2 to Gov V3, while I wish we had more time to see how Gov V2 would have played out in another epoch, I think I prefer Gov V3 over Gov V2 regardless, just because it makes the process so much faster. Like it's so much more efficient, and like DAOs have problems with efficiency to begin with. So I like the way it's set up. I just, again, would have been nice to see Gov V2 try it out again, but think it's just going to be a better form of governance overall.
I agree with that too. It's kind of tough both ways, because originally, before Kieran put this out, in the strategy subcouncil, we were talking about not such significant changes, but smaller changes and smaller tweaks that would have made Gov 2 like much better than it currently is. It would have been, we would have called it like Gov 2.5 or Gov 2.1 or something like that. We're already talking about a lot of changes that would have made it better, and I do think one epoch might not have been enough to truly say it wasn't working, especially since the game wasn't even out. We do another whole epoch, we would likely get see how this current system works with an actual game out. On paper, if you're looking at it, does look like Gov V3 is going to be a better option, and it's not. You know what? A Gov V4 will come out, and just gotta trust who's in those spots. Vote accordingly who you want in there, and just trust that wrong decisions were made, they'll get fixed in the future. That's what I like about, this whole governance model, is like nothing is set in stone. It's going to be what community is shaping this game.
And one,
it does
one
sound
thing
like it's okay.
Oh, I was just gonna say real quick. I know that you love me and Najaf because we're YouTubers and we're super cool. But just vote for the person you actually think is going to do the best job, 100%. Because I think cut that out that I
I
stuttered
love it.
there,
I love
please.
it.
No, yeah,
Just put the whole
there are some good people on the council.
fucking kill it with fire. Sorry.
I love it.
Yeah,
I do think like the whole Gov V3, like from what I've read, I'll be honest, like I briefly read over it kind of thing. I haven't really gone full in depth, but I've been catching some of the conversation being held around it, and it sounds like, as well from what you guys are saying, it does sound like it fully improve efficiency and be a slightly better model than what like we currently have. I mean, again, we'll just have to wait and see, and then who knows? Maybe we go backwards slightly towards something that more resembled Gov V2, like in the future, if Gov V3 doesn't perform how we think it's going to. But
yeah, one of the things
that's also, again, like you said, the beauty of it.
Yeah, one of the things I proposed internally was having a community council of 7 instead of 5. Community council is going to have like a little bit more workload than they currently have, which already seems like it's a lot. I thought having 7 in there might be able to split up the workload a little bit. And honestly, internally, no one was hard against it. I think a lot of people, internally thought that could be a good option. What it seems like they're going to do is start with the 5. If they do feel like it's too much for a 5-person council, maybe adding those 2 on to make it 7 for a future epoch. Or they even said midway through this next epoch, which is going to be 9 months now instead of 6 months. So they could get partway through this next epoch and be like, it's just too much for the community sub council, and they want to add 2 more. Maybe if you're in there and you fall into that 6th and 7th spot, like, give up hope, because maybe they'll be calling on you at some point during the epoch. I think that concludes this episode. Hopefully it looks smoother after I edited this, because it kept chopping out quite a bit. Sorry if anyone that was bothering anyone watching. I want to keep this going too much longer. Episode 30 is in the books. Any final words, Llama? Thank you for coming on and joining us today.
Thank you for having me. And I mean, it's exciting times right now. We're getting so close to PB3, and there's a lot of fun and massive changes and releases coming up here with Illuvium. So I'm excited. Thank you for having me on. You can follow me on all my socials as well.
I'll
link
put
down
those,
below.
I'll put those in the link down below. Yeah, and I'm sure we're gonna have the influencer tournaments and stuff. Or I'm just gonna.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I'm just gonna message you and be like, "Hey, you want to hop on a stream and just do a couple battles tonight?"
Let's go. Let's go.
Why not? Like, we're doing that all the time now. I just gotta work on my internet first. Once I work on my internet, then we'll be good. Jimberino, thanks as always for coming on. Any final words here?
Yeah, no, I just have a good day, everybody.
Here we go.
I love it.
See you later.